But I want to forewarn you, folks, the last 6 to 7 months in this country have been crazy. I know, understatement at best. But what it's also done is in this age of isolation and staying at home orders, many people, lots of people have decided to bump up adding pools to their outdoor living spaces on their priority list. And the pool industry is absolutely overwhelmed and inundated. I know many contractors who currently are looking at, if you were to get on their installation list now, it wouldn't be until spring of 2022 before they could get to it. So depending on where you are and depending on who you have engaged, don't expect that this is going to be something just because it's fall of 2020 right now. Don't expect that you're going to have a contractor or can get a contractor on your site for a spring installation in 2021. Best way to find out, I mean, our project list right now is on about a 6 to 8 month lag. So if you were to engage us in a pre-construction planning agreement, we could get engaged, and if we were just collaborating with a local builder, we could probably get that design done, depending on the complexity of the installation, in 3 to 4 weeks, maybe 6 weeks. But if we were to start it, we're easily 8 months out for our crew. So it really just depends on, well, a lot of variables, and we kind of go through those in the pre-construction planning process to give you the best opportunity. So conversions for or adding to a regular pool, this is pretty good general math. We need a vault to put the biofilm filter in. This is for the BF4, the biofilm filter. The vault, it could be 6,000, it could be 2,000. You could build that out of concrete block if you wanted to. But we do have modular systems that can be bolted and sealed together, and those systems start at around $6,000 for installation on site. The BF4 system itself is $7,500. So if you're just looking at, well, what's the BF4 cost? $7,500. But you need a place to put it, and you need a pump, skimmer, valves to run it, and those are going to run around $2,500. And typical installation, I highlighted that because that's just a scientific wild guess. Generally speaking, that'd be pretty average to excavate and install the vault for the BF4 and install the system and install the plumbing. So you're looking at about $21,000-ish added on to the cost of a regular pool, or for the cost of converting an existing pool. A lot of variables. You need to give me some leeway here because it's tough to know every person's situation and the dynamics involved in construction. But everybody wants to know, well, what's it going to cost? Is it the same price? No, it's not the same price as a regular swimming pool. It's the same price per square foot to construct, but since we are incorporating this additional biofilm filter, at most, you're going to be at least $10,000 with pumps, skimmers, and the system. And then however you use it to enclose the vault, that can be managed and done many other ways. I don't know. Well, if there's bear in your backyard, I don't care what you build your pool out of. If a bear decides to go swimming in, it doesn't matter whether it's a NSP or a regular pool. I've seen humorous pictures of bear frolicking around in pools. If it's hot enough, the bear gets to do whatever bear wants to do. Hey folks, this is real easy because the biggest problem in a regular chemically treated pool is the either corrosion or scale formation due to the chemistry that's involved. That's why they do this water balance analysis of the water to make sure that the water is neither too corrosive or too scale forming. That's what the water balance is trying to balance into this little neither corrosive nor scale forming. If depending on the type of sanitizing system that you're using, if it's a corrosive environment, it will definitely accelerate the deterioration of the pool's interior and equipment. So NSPs will definitely last longer because we let nature basically manage the water balance. The system manages itself in accordance to what's needed for the geography that you're built in. We are not paranoid and obsessive compulsive about pH. pH in natural water can range from 6 to 9. So we don't have to have it at 7.5. It can be anywhere in that range, and it's really predicated on the geology or the climate zone and area of the country where you are. Yeah, well, the flow rate in the biopool is going to be approximately 70 gallons per minute. That's replicating more of a stream ecosystem. In a wetlands environment, the flow rate is much less, at about 15 gallons per minute. It's to accommodate the needs for the plants, the time that they need to lift and remove nutrients from the water, moving the water slow enough so that the plants, as well as biofilm that's in the substrate, can pull the nutrients out. It doesn't have to be oxygenated artificially. The flow rate and the movement of the water and the flow through the water is providing all the air and aeration needed to encourage aerobic bacteria issues. Ponds, where this question may be coming from, is in ponds, if they get too deep and you're not circulating that bottom water and all the detritus settles to the bottom, that organic matter, as it decomposes, will totally deoxygenate the water, creating an anaerobic environment. And when that anaerobic environment happens, then all the beneficial attributes of the aerobic bacteria are obsolete. They can't do their job, which is why in many ponds, deep water aeration points are used to infuse oxygen at lower levels, as well as create kind of a vertical circulation column of water to mix as well. Yeah, well, yeah, in this case, I wouldn't use a liner material. I would probably go with a system, a thermal resin. We use it called EcoFinish. You can Google that, EcoFinish, Aquabright. It can be applied to many different types of substrates, and in this case, Jennifer, we could do a panel wall construction, but this membrane, this waterproofing technique with the thermal resin is not a liner. It adheres directly onto concrete, wood, steel, composite materials, fiberglass. So it's exceptionally good about that. But it also, the pool hide it's exceptional. But honestly, the bear gets in the pool and tears the liner. Good thing about the pool hide is it's very easy to repair. You don't have to replace the whole liner. Well, no, the costs don't scale. The cost per square foot, like in the cost of construction of a house, the cost per square foot of a small house is going to be higher than the cost per square foot of a larger house of similar type of construction details. So yeah, there's some economies of scale in construction. As I get to a 1,000 square foot pool, then the cost per square foot is lower because I've got some economies of manufacturing. So yeah, to your point, yeah, the example I gave, $120,000 for the average bioswim pond, yeah, it's $120 a square foot as opposed to $150 a square foot. We've built $200 a square foot pools, but they were maybe 12 by 20 or 10 by 20. You reach a point where the act of installation, excavation, construction, I mean, you got kind of an all-in cost for a contractor just to get on the site and begin construction. The bigger the project gets, the lower the cost per square foot gets, but that's a fair assumption. That is, as the project size increases, cost per square foot kind of goes down. What other kind of material? I'm assuming you talk about the substrate. Limestone is ideal for the biofilm substrate. We've used granite before. Granite's good. We do like limestone for one particular reason, and that is it does impart some level of carbonation to the water. Carbonate. Because limestone is calcium carbonate, when it slowly dissolves over time, there's a little bit of carbonate that's imparted to the water, influencing a little bit higher pH. And actually, biofilm likes a little bit of nudge on that high pH side, so that's why I like biofilm. It's nice, but not necessary. But we'd be able to help you. In fact, I've got a cohort in Argentina that I'd probably turn you over to and help them work with you locally on your specific needs. If you haven't already, you can email me and say, yeah, I need a contact. Your contact in Argentina, I can get you all hooked up. Yes, sometimes. In most cases, when we bid the project at the very early stages of proposal, we won't include plants in the proposal, and we'll specifically call out that plants aren't included. Instead, I would have you connect with my plant specialist and identify the types, the textures, the colors. She needs to know the geography, the size and scope of the project. And I mean, there's some lotuses out there that get shipped in from really exotic places in the world that could be several $100s easily per lotus. And if they're not planted in the right area, you may be planting them every year. If you have any other questions or you want to discuss this more specific to your project, feel free to reach out to me. I'll send you a link where we can set up and do a Zoom meeting like this and go through some of the installation design options and what it is you're looking for. And we can get a little bit closer to understanding what your budget may need to be. Thanks again for joining us, and thanks again for reaching out to BioNova for answers to your natural swimming pool. Y'all have a great day. Bye-bye.